Welcome to Algebra and Surds. We're looking at completing the square in this video. Let's have a look. Asked to complete the square on x squared plus 8x. Let's just write it out again. X squared plus 8x. Now the way we do that, we'll just get a different color up. What we do is we divide this term in the middle here by 2, and we'll get that equal to 4 there. And what we then do is, to complete the square, is we square that. And we need to add 4 squared. Now, if we're adding 4 squared, we can't just decide to add 4 squared to something and leave it at that. So we'll have to compensate for that in a minute. So let's have a look at, we'll make that into x squared plus 8x, and we'll make that plus 16. Now we want to do that so that we can then write out this in an arrangement whereby we have one bracket and it's being squared. So what we can do then, if we've completed the square like that, and I'll get back to the fact that we've just decided randomly to add 16 to an expression, we can write that out as x plus 4 all squared, which if we expanded it we'd get that there. But what we need to do is make sure that we compensate for the fact that we've added 16. What we need to do is have a minus 4 squared, just so that the thing we added to it is taken off as well. And so that's a minus 16 there. And so your final answer is able to process this bit here as x plus 4 all squared, but this is a little compensation section whereby it's making up for the fact that we've added 16 to make that work properly. So that's the way I think of that. We find a number that we need to add to it to make that bracket happen, and we find that number by dividing that 8 by 2 in this case and getting 4, squaring it to make that final term. But whatever we add to this, whatever we bring to the table for completing the square, we need to compensate by considering the opposite of that as well. See, that green plus 16 and the blue minus 16 cancels each other out. So that's why we have a minus 16 there tacked on the end. I'm sure you've seen that in class when you've done this topic, but hopefully that's a good reminder. Have a look at another example now. So w squared minus 16w. If we're going to complete the square on that, what we'll do is divide that by 2. Now when we divide that by 2 we'll get minus 8. When we square that to make that number up here, we'll have plus 64, and we'll have a minus 64 to compensate for that. So we'll do that straight away there this time. Okay, we can then write down that half version. That half version was minus 8 there. We can make that into the bracket section. W minus 8 all squared will take into account all of that bit there, and we need to just bring this minus 64 down as well. So that's how we complete the square. We're sort of artificially taking these two terms and adding something to it so that we can write it out nice and efficiently in something in brackets all squared. But this extra bit needs to be the compensation for whatever we need to do to make that bracket happen. Kind of a bit of a strange topic, this one, but that's the way we do it. Hope that helps. We'll catch you next time. PeterBlakeMaths.com. That's completing the square.